a newer building. A newer age building will have better elevators with lower power consumption, with higher efficiencies. It's not available in the older buildings. Even the incandescent bulbs that are used in the older buildings are consuming a lot more than if you use LED across the lights that were there in the newer developments. I say promote it. If you want a city, and just look at the advantages. The government has come up with environmental schemes whereby which you're going to provide STPs. I can give you an example. In our project in Virar, we are going to be processing 1 crore to 20 lakh liters of water every single day. And out of that, 1 crore and 5 lakh liters are going to be reused directly in the flushing and gardening systems, with only 5 lakh liters being released after being treated, 20 lakh liters being released after being treated in the nalas. Where can you get this in the older parts of the city? Where can you get this in the older developments? I also want to state that, we've been talking about regulatory authorities. I'm very happy with the regulatory authority. Please regulate us, but regulate everybody associated with us. Regulate my customer who comes in and makes a booking and sometimes vanishes for months and end till the prices rise again, and then he comes back and says, hey, listen, you know what, I have an allotment letter and give it to me. And you say, listen, you were not available all this time, these guys cry foul. One. B, regulate my approval authorities. Sunil very rightly put it. 6 months to 24 months to get simple approvals? Impossible. I mean, why would I want to spend that kind of time doing things which really should be done by a single window clearance system? I would urge the minister out here to really take a strong initiative in that. We've been talking about it forever. But it's required. Regulate them. Regulate my bankers. And I'm sorry to say this, but in the downturn, I saw for a fact that bankers with lines of credit given to real estate development companies, one fine day just said, don't deposit checks anymore because we're not going to fund you. Regulate them as well. They have the SARFAESI Act, they have the Lenders Act. If a lender does not pay them back the money, they can go ahead and take away his house. Hey, who's going to go and tell them that you were supposed to fund this project? I'm sitting out here in the middle of nowhere trying to develop things. I know there's 1 minute left. I have so many points, like I told you. Sorry. The Asian Development Bank, and this is why we developers have to work 24/7. I was at a session where Mr. R. Gopalan, Secretary of RBI, was saying India is underbanked. I'm saying by that policy, he said, SBI, which does 42 million transactions every single day, is still not capable of being the bank that can keep growing across. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm taking an example of SBI, but they're the largest bank in the country. 1,000 branches opened in this year, 10,000 ATMs put up in this year, yet the regulators are thinking of, RBI is thinking of putting up more and more bank licenses. The point is, each developer out here on this dais and in this room and outside out there should be working 24/7 just to be able to take a small portion of the development that is really required. 22 million home shortfall. Boss, when are we going to achieve it? And this shortfall keeps on growing every year. What are you talking about, a builder political nexus in Maharashtra? I am saying the builder political nexus in a good way exists in Gujarat, exists in Hyderabad. Sir, where developers are invited to Gujarat today to do development. Large tracts of land are given, single window clearances are given, people are told go ahead and develop. We do not face that, we do not have the luxury of doing that in this state and in this city. I'm saying there is no builder developer nexus. As a matter of fact, it works the other way around. We are forced to kind of slow down the pace of development. I'm sorry, but it's a fact. And, just to kind of sum it up, I honestly want to tell you that it is the government that plays a major role, but by and large, we developers are doing a great amount of work. Some of the parks in Mumbai city are being built or developed or maintained by developers. Some of the institutions, educational and your religious institutions, are being built and maintained by developers. Hospitals are being put up in this city by developers. And in spite of doing all of this, the only thing we hear from a developer, it's a thankless job. We never hear a thank you, but we will always hear that we are, the bad ones. Please change your perception. If a Toyota pulls back certain number of cars, hey, they did a great deal. Do you know how many developers are today on this dais and in this room reworking if there's any bad material coming from even a tile supplier or from your electrical supplier? We're changing all of that because we stand guarantee for it, though we don't need to. We do it, but we're still, considered in that builder lobby, which could be the guy who makes one goddamn building in his entire life and puts up his board out there and says, hey, I'm a developer. All I request is change the perception. We're doing a great job with the help of the government and even of our own accord. All the developers have gone from holding on land to actually developing land much faster. The idea is we are not interested in the age-old maxim that the delay will get you the money. We're all after the corporate game. We're all after building our books. We're all after going to the public for the money. We realize that's where it is. So thank you very much for all the extra time. I'm sorry if I've said more.